This is Prince Hanley coming to you with 100,000 watts of pure love. I want to talk to you today again about experiencing miracle production, but particularly about dying to automobiles. This is part 5 in a series. Yeshua taught us, except a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it abides alone. But if it dies, it brings forth much fruit. You can read that in the Brit Hadashah, or the New Testament, the New Covenant, in the book of John, chapter 12, verse 24. What is it that God is asking you to die to at this point of your life or ministry? If you will die to that thing or to those things about which God is speaking to you, you will see resurrection. There's a place where I used to go and I'd write for months. It was a 200-acre farm, and one time I was there during harvest season. I helped to take in the harvest, shoveling corn in the large corn cribs as it was brought in from the fields. There was an average of 3 ears of corn on every shock in the field. One time we counted the grains of corn on 1 ear. From 1 grain of corn, which was planted and died, a harvest of 1,800, that's 1,800 grains, came back. One time at a Christian retreat in the mountains, I was delivering an exegesis of the passage in Romans chapter 6, verse 15 through 23, specifically on fruit unto holiness. I used the example that I just told you about the planting and death of seeds. After the session, a man came to me and he said, I grow cantaloupe melons. Every seed I plant which dies produces 6 melons, and each melon has an average of 300 seeds. And that gives me a return of 1,800 seeds, or the same amount that I had found with the corn. What is it that God is asking you to die to at this point of your life and ministry? If you will die to that thing or to those things about which God is speaking to you, you will see resurrection, increased multiplication, productivity in the Spirit. In the parable of the sower in Mark chapter 4, verses 1 through 9, Yeshua taught that the seed which is planted in good ground brings forth fruit some 30-fold, some 60-fold, and some 100-fold. Notice, 100-fold equals 10,000%. Jesus taught, except a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it abides alone. But if it dies, it brings forth much fruit. One time God told me to give my car, my automobile, away to a preacher. I didn't want to do it. I had already given a car to a preacher, and God had blessed me back with the one I had. However, I kept feeling that God wanted me to give the car to the man of God. I thought of a way to obey God, but which legally before God might keep me from having to give the car away. How foolish. Can we trick God? No. I thought, I'll call the man about midnight. He lived in another county about 30 to 45 minutes away. I'll ask him to come to my home right away and tell him that I need to talk to him about something. If he doesn't come, then I won't have to give my car away. When I called the man near midnight, he answered and said, I'll be right over. He didn't know what I wanted or didn't want to tell him. I thought, I better get on my knees and pray. I've got about 30 minutes to get in the right frame of heart or attitude whereby I can give this automobile away with a willing, cheerful heart. After about 28 minutes, I came to the place where I could give the car away cheerfully, and I did so when the man of God came a few minutes later. Through the years, I have given several automobiles away to preachers. So far, God has blessed me back with so many automobiles I can't even remember. I died to my cars, and God brought resurrection power, increased productivity. What is it that God is asking you to die to? Is it that power play down at the office? Is it your impatience or your ego? Or is it that interpersonal relationship at your synagogue or your church or your ministry? What is it about which the Lord is or has been dealing with you? Is it a person or a thing? God will never deny you anything or anyone except to give you something or someone better. I promise you on the authority of God's holy word that if you will die to that thing or that person or that situation, God will bring forth resurrection life, increased productivity. Pray now, my friend. Listen to God. Obey Him. Yield to Him. Die to that situation, that person, that thing, and then watch God bring resurrection life and multiply it around the world. The blessings of the Lord overtake you, my friend. You're going to have a wonderful future. This is Apostle Talk, and this is Prince Hanley coming to you with 100,000 watts of pure, healing, Holy Ghost, miracle-working love.